Hello, dear friends. Happy Life, chapter 131. When you are facing difficulties and tough trials on the road of spiritual growth, seek shelter in a heartfelt prayer of faith in God. It will keep you from falling into the abyss of rebelliousness. A bit of inner silence and concentration, the soul locked in prayer and open to inspiration. These are necessary for you to receive the reassuring divine response. Make the climate of prayer a habit and you will be in perennial communication with God, strengthened for the challenges ahead. This very small lesson, we got here 1, 2, 3 paragraphs, talks to us about the importance of heartfelt prayer and reminds us and recommends us to seek prayer when we are facing difficulties, when we are facing tough trials, to seek shelter in a heartfelt prayer of faith. And then in the next paragraph, it talks about the necessity for silence and concentration. When we are able to be silent and be focused, then we open ourselves to inspiration. This is a necessary step to receive the reassuring divine response. So the first step is to cling to prayer as an important resource to help us to find the strength when we are facing difficulties and challenges. But the second step, which many people fail to do, is to be able to silence after we pray, to be able to hear, to perceive, to receive the intuitions that come every time we pray. And sometimes people will say, but I don't know what you mean by that. And God will respond to us a lot of times through people and circumstances around us, that if we are quiet enough, if we are still enough, if we are observant enough, we recognize God's intervention in that way. Sometimes the response comes from within us, and it is a voice that comes. It is an insight. It is a thought that you wouldn't have otherwise. But for those thoughts and those insights to happen, it's necessary a little bit of inner stillness, or if not a stillness, at least a space, an inner space where you might be contemplating something, where you might be walking, where you might be just not working so hard, pausing a little bit and allowing, for instance, to feel, to be in touch with your own feelings. What is it that I'm feeling? Feelings are powerful messengers of God. A lot of times, that's how we're going to get our response, through a feeling and understanding, exploring, giving that feeling space. A lot of times the response comes through that venue. Make the climate of prayer a habit and you will be in perennial communion with God, strengthened for the challenges ahead. So that's another, and the third important recommendation by Joanna is that a climate of prayer. Climate of prayer does not mean that you are stopping and praying every hour of your day. That means that it is a lifestyle. And I'm gonna make a comparison. A lot of times people ask me, "Are you on diet?" No, the way I eat is a lifestyle. It's a habit. It's not like I am actually preventing myself from enjoying certain things. I eat everything, but in a certain way that it is a lifestyle. So you don't need to be like praying all the time and stop what you're doing. Is your inner state, an inner state of prayer, an inner state of connection, an inner state of gratitude, an inner state of recognizing that God is the power, an inner state of reaching out mentally, even if it's just with one sentence: God inspire me, God help me, God thank you for, this day, or, so those are thoughts that you can have throughout your day that will place you in this climate of prayer, and that becomes a habit. And allows you to have this window that's often open to this communication that will definitely strengthen anyone who is able to do it and help us to face our challenges and to go through each day and each moment, more centered and ready and more aware and prepared to overcome the challenges.